Ever hit a high note once and wonder, great, how do I do that again? Borrowed technique is when something works, but you don't know why. Borrowed technique is also when something is not repeatable, it's not reliable, and you don't know how to find it again. It feels a bit like luck. And most singers live here longer than they need to. What are some signs of singing on borrowed technique? One, if you only sing when you had good amount of sleep, adequate hydration, and you're in the mood for it. Once just everything is perfect, that's when you start singing. Singing on borrowed technique also means you can't recreate something and you just keep trying and trying for weeks on end to see if you can get that same result again, but you're just not getting there consistently. Another sign of singing on borrowed technique is when you go in on an audition or you have a performance, things just fail. You can't rely on your voice, and what you tried at home or on your own is all of a sudden not showing up for you when you actually need your voice the most. And another sign of borrowed technique is really that you don't trust yourself. You warm up extensively, you over-rehearse, hitting those high notes, they're just not showing up, and you just don't trust it because in a way you already know they're not going to be there because you didn't know how to get there in the first place. Let me just be clear, this is not a talent issue. It's not because you're doing something wrong. It just means that your voice hasn't found the place yet that serves its best, how it's best supported with its technique. Your voice is your instrument. The vocal folds sit right inside your throat. They need to vibrate. There is breath that needs to pass the vocal folds, and there's a resonating sound that we're creating with our oral space. And basically, your voice is an instrument, and just like with any instrument, there are rules that go with it, there are strategies that are applied, and they all have to align with each other in order for that to become more consistent. So let's say you're learning to play the piano. Are you able to play with both hands right away and play a beautiful song? No. Well, the same goes with the voice. So if you haven't been singing much, or you have been, but you keep running into problems with your voice, you try to hit those high notes and sometimes it's like hit or miss approach, that is just because you don't know yet how to use your voice in a way so you can hit those notes consistently, regularly, and that's when systems come in place. So you no longer need to sing on borrowed systems. Because when systems are in place and your instrument is supported and aligned, that's where you get results. That's when you know you can rely on your voice no matter what it is that you're doing, no matter what song you're singing or how high of a range you're going to sing. And that's where the confidence comes in. So you can appear as confident as you want to, but if your voice doesn't know A from B, then that's not going to work. Your voice is your instrument, and just like any instrument, there are rules that come along with it. There are, when you're learning to play guitar, you learn how to strum the chords and what makes a melody. The same with the voice. You learn how to use your breath, you learn how to place the sound, and what technique to use to sing those songs and to hit those high notes. So it's really not rocket science, but you do want to have a plan in order to get those high notes consistently. And it's a lot easier than you think too. If you found this video helpful, click subscribe. There's a lot more helpful information coming your way.